ball when he didn't have it. Free kick, Peter Riccardi.
He's quick.
Mansfield. 9 minutes left. Gary Ablett has 14 goals. The Cats have 22. Oh, great mark. Wills. He starred from the start. Mensch. Back in. Forsman. Does he kick it himself or look for Ablett? He goes for the goal himself and pops it through.
Super XHP, you say? The what? The latest SH formula. Who? Yeah, no, mobile. Yeah, mobile. M-O-B-I-L, right? Extra protection. We're talking my language now. Okay, thanks, mate. He asked me why I'm not using mobile Super XHP.
You big dummy.
Mobile Super XHP saves you worry in the long run.
The Cats starting to rub it in as Forsman kicks a goal. Well played by Minton Connell. A 30-metre punch. Here's Lawson. Oh, he's quick. Hooking it around his body. Bombs away and has kicked only a behind. Stephen O'Reilly to bring it back into play. There's little Rover. They've copped a hiding today. I really think the stuffing was knocked out of Sydney last week by St Kilda with that last quarter comeback. And they haven't recovered from that, Sydney. And Geelong have been very, very good. They're a good side when they're on fire, Geelong. Here's Forsman. He looks so casual. Onto the left foot to half forward. Hickmott was there. It's a loose ball. Brunton dives on it. Now he hooks it out. Kelly is there. McRae, Watters, and finally Wade Chapman.
Kick by Chapman, not great. The hand pass comes back from Smith to McRae, who has a look at the goals and goes whack. Doesn't quite make the distance. And on the line, the mark taken by Mansfield. And now the Cats rebounding around the outer side. McGrath, a lead by Riccardi, who dashes away from Kapler. Peter Riccardi, forward of centre wing. Ooh, he took a step. He gets around Kapler. Ablett wants it high. Riccardi off the left boot. Ablett's there. And a good mark taken by Daniels, who got back. We've got 7.5 minutes remaining. 23-13 Geelong, 8 goals, 16 Sydney. And Sydney's score is a far cry from last week when they kicked 17 goals, 7 to get pipped by a point. Today, 8-16. Here's Lewis at half forward. Well, still virtually at half forward is Minton Connell.
Simon Minton Connell. Long way out. 52 metres, he'll have to kick this ball. He should be moving it quickly. Well, it looks like he's going to have a shot. He may be looking for the short one, but taking too long over it.
He is taking far too long, Peter. They've got numbers back in the square. Smith and O'Reilly, or Darcy, were in the square for quite a while, but O'Reilly is now back to contest. It was just too long.
It's a long kick. It won't quite make the distance, and that's a mark. And it's taken by Kenny Hinkley, who is very, very strong overhead.
Now they work it out through O'Reilly. Be a bit of an anti-climax if Gary Ablett has his 14 with about 15 minutes to go and doesn't get any more. Here's Philandia, but the free kick to Geelong.
At 50. You've got to hand it back to the opponent on the full.
Adrian Hickmott. So he comes up towards half forward and within kicking distance of Ablett.
I'll tell you what, they're not giving Ablett much room, the Geelong players.
Ablett leading. This is him. Oh, it just dropped short, and a courageous mark was taken there by Brunton. He gets it back from Philandia. Kick by Brunton towards the outer wing. Punched down by Steve Hocking to Hickmott.
O'Reilly off for Geelong, and Colbert coming on, going down back Colbert.
Well done by Kelly to set this up. Minton Connell 60 metres out, short pass, Lewis. Now, so far in the last quarter, Sydney have kicked just 1 behind, while Geelong have kicked 6 goals, 1. And of those 6, Ablett has kicked 5 goals, 1. So it really has been Ablett versus the Swans. Can Dale Lewis, with his 14th kick, get his 3rd goal, first for the term for the Swans? Offline, a behind. Lewis today, 2 goals, 4.
Well, 5 minutes of play left, 8-17 to 23-13. They've been outclassed, Sydney. And as sees it. Stephen O'Reilly getting some treatment there. Oh, there's a free kick. There's advantage paid. No,
Well,
it's
why wasn't the advantage
Mansfield. Well, I think he might have been covered, the Geelong player, eventually. Dale Lewis being told to get out of the way.
And he just ran across the mark, surely.
Michael Mansfield. So Mansfield might eventually kick this. Now he's chipping it in. He's looking for Tim Darcy, and he's found him at halfback. He wanted to run off. Darcy having a good game. And he brings it in now to Barnes. Barnes in the centre of the ground. Now, bad hand pass from Barnes. Very casual. Lawson, they won't catch him. Look at him go. 2 bounces. Keep going, son. He should run round Barnes here. No, he elects to chip it into Dale Lewis. So you can centre it here, Lewis. Oh, good kick. Minton Connell, an open goal coming up. Slams it goal. And goal.
Back in the middle with 4 1/4 minutes left. An 80-point lead to the Cats after the goal by Minton Connell. Oh, hocking beautifully to Riccardi. And away to Pickering. Ablett leading again. This is a chance. No, the spoil from behind by Dunkley. Couch gets a run from Brewer, and Brewer gets the goal. Shane Brewer, his second today.
Very impressive player, Brewer. Very well balanced player. Delivers the ball so well, playing around midfield. Here he is going to run onto this ball. Ablett contesting. The ball comes out wide. Couch. Polished performer, Brewer, and improving.
Ablett stranded on 14 goals, and that will leave your record intact, Pete. You kicked 16, so you haven't let him get ahead of you. Well done.
Well, we go back to centre. It's almost an anticlimax because it really looked as though he might press Fred Fanning's record. Creswell.
Actually, your 16 came against South Melbourne too, didn't it?
Did, one day at Victoria Park, Don.
You want to spend 5 minutes and tell us about it?
No. Modesty prevents me, Drew. After the telecast. Shane Smith.
In the plane on the way.
Back towards the boundary line and puts it over.
Do you think he can contain himself to the plane?
So Shane Smith, good build of a youngster. Don, you're the expert on bodies. Rose gets it down, taken by Riccardi. Now Peter Riccardi to centre wing. Oh, good mark by Hickmott. What a brilliant mark. They've got some talent, these Geelong players. Now, hand pass over the top. Riccardi, he'll go with a long one. Where's Ablett? Oh, it drops in short, and a good mark taken by Mitch. He's done well since half-time. He started off on the bench.
Yes, came on replacing Graham. Graham made a couple of mistakes.
Ball looks like a cricket ball in this bloke's hands.
So David Minch from 40 metres. Not a bad looking kick, but just hit the post. And one behind only. Time clock ticking down, so Ablett might remain on 14. Now there's Neil Brunton on the bench. He's been a real dogged, determined character today, and that's the way he plays his football.
Robbie Neal kicks in towards the outer side. A bit of a wobble on that, and Hickmott takes another great mark. Gee, they want to move it on quickly. They do to Robert Scott. Pass in short to Forsman, and he's got it 35 metres from goal. Well, this one will be sailing over Ablett's head. 2.5 minutes to go. Ablett has 14 goals. Had 7 other goal kickers, though. Oh, another poster.
Just looking at Darren Forsman, he looks a bit like Jamie Morrissey that used to play with Hawthorn. There he is. 24-15. to 9:17 as the little chip pass comes into Higgins. So Higgins at half back, kicks it wide. He's looking out there for Rose, or was it Mooney? It in fact was Rose out there. The Swans bring it around the boundary line to the half-forward line. Punched away by Hinkley over the line. So to under the 2 minutes now. Barnes versus Gavin Rose. Barnes wins it, and another free kick in those boundary throw-ins, and this time to Rose.
Under 2 minutes left. The kick by Rose to full forward. Smith can't take the mark. Darcy punches away from Minton Connell. Hinkley to turf. And the ball out of play. Well, after a game like this, you just hope to get through the last couple of minutes without serious injury or a report or anything silly like that. And Ablett had his 14th with about 15 minutes to go, and he's still on 14. Hocking away to McGrath. To Steve Hocking. Well, just a cakewalk up the middle for the Cats.
Oh, good mark.
Has he taken some marks in this last quarter?
He's hurt himself, has he?
Yes, doesn't look too good. Wills, a very high one. Ablett one out with Dunkley. Forsman roving. Riccardi there, but the knock-on went behind him. It's a whistle. Is it a free kick right in front to Riccardi? It is. Another goal to the Cats coming up. Now, Peter Riccardi hasn't scored a goal today. He's kicked 2 behinds, so he should become another goal scorer for the Cats.
He's been a good player midfield, or half forward, Riccardi.
Blinding pace. A goal.
And his first for the day. Kicked a point last week against Collingwood, Peter Riccardi. Being picked up by Darren Kapler, and this is the free kick just after this contest between Ablett and Dunkley. And there's Riccardi. You can see there the hand over the shoulder.
So that's 8 goals in the last quarter to the Cats, 5 of which have come from Gary Ablett. Ablett 14 for the day.
Well, this would please Malcolm Blight, Drew, the fact that they're going on with it in the last term and not resting on their laurels, which Geelong tends to do at times.
9 goal kickers.
So a big percentage boost this to the Cats. Paul Kelly to Dale Lewis from 51 metres. He's hooked this one, and well, it's still in play.
No, it's still in play.
Now Smith and the boundary umpire said it did cross the line, so it'll be a throw-in near the behind post. There's Lee Colbert, a promising young player. Haven't seen much of him today. He spent a great deal of time on the bench. So Rose will do battle again. Hooks it down. Waters has been quiet. Here's Kelly. Hand pass on. Hinkley tries to sock it off the ground. Smith. Minton Connell. Taken away by Pickering.
Riccardi with Kapler. Riccardi to ground. Oh, Gary Hocking.
Yeah, well done.
To Riccardi, and they're off and running again. Wills, 22 seconds left. Time for another one for Ablett yet. Centre of the ground, it bounces through to Mensch. Mensch looking for Ablett. Here it comes. No mark, but he's still a chance. 10 seconds left. He's lost control of it. Neal out of defence. That should be the last score of the game. It goes past Riccardi. It's up near centre wing. Valandia gets the hand pass back. Here's Chapman, and that's full time at the SCG. Gary Ablett shaking hands with this one and that one, most of whom he's defeated today. Well, it wasn't all Dunkley's fault. And there's somebody out there for an autograph within 15 seconds of the game finishing, and he'll never forget that little moment, that he got the great man's autograph the day he kicked 14 at the Sydney Cricket Ground. 3 times in his career he's kicked 14. For a while there we thought the all-time record of 18 might go, but I'm glad I was here to see it.
Yes, and it was a great effort by Gary Ablett. And Geelong, very, very impressive. I've watched them now for the past 3 or 4 weeks, and they're really adding a little bit of momentum. I like the way they really do attack from down on their half-back line, their full-back line. Players are prepared to run down. They kick goals. And we'll just go down to one of those goal kickers who plays half-forward, Paul Couch with Neil Cordy.
Let's forget it.
Let's forget it. No, you're another chance. Go on, Cords.
Okay, got Geelong's Paul Couch. Fantastic. What can I say?
Gee, and I thought Couchy could put up with a tagger. Have you ever seen so many taggers? Well, what a day for the Cats. They really put on an exhibition here, and they've won this game 165-71. There's the scoreline, 25-15 to the Swans, 9-17.
Tuesday, PJ's working with an ex-lover.
Maybe I should take sick leave.
And the old feelings of passion return.
Now look, it's going to be a hot time in town tonight.
Will jealousy kill the investigation?
Hello, Paul.
You are compromising yourself by socialising with him.
Plus a case of harassment.
So it's his word against hers.
Who's telling the truth? The young schoolgirl?
Asked him to stop.
Or the accusing shop owner?
She's a flirt, all right?
I've got to search you.
Solomon's presents Blue Healers, 7:30 Tuesday on Channel 7.
Ambulance fact number 5. On average, Melbourne's ambulance service attends 350 emergencies every day.
I didn't know that.
Good, and getting better.
The 40 Winks Bedroom Show. From an era of elegance, 40 Winks now bring you the traditional Victorian brass bed, the Essex. This trim is 100% pure brass with a unique coating to prevent tarnishing. These inserts are genuine porcelain. The best in brass beds, cast and iron beds too, and the very best prices around. 40 Winks ageless designs add style to any bedroom. 40 Winks, the specialist.
Moments of prayer help us to go on. Practice the presence of God wherever you are, whatever you're doing.
During this commercial break, someone will die of heart disease. In fact, heart and blood vessel disease is responsible for almost half of all deaths in Australia, killing one person every 10 minutes. The Heart Foundation needs your donation for research and education so we can beat this killer. Please give to the Heart Foundation. Not just a charity, a necessity.
From Barbara Taylor Bradford comes a story and a heroine you will never forget.
Nikki Wells.
She had everything she ever wanted.
I want you to be my wife till death do us part.
Until tragedy left her haunted by the mystery of her greatest love.
The night before we were supposed to get married, he killed himself.
A tale packed with intrigue, danger and passion.
I think I'm in love with her.
A dazzling international cast. Stephen Collins, Ian Richardson, and Donna Mills as Nikki. Barbara Taylor Bradford's Remember premieres 8:30 Monday on 7.
A 94-point win to the Cats. They won 25-15, 165 to 9 goals, 17, 71. Gary Ablett kicked 14 goals. Wills kicked 3. Brewer kicked 2 for the Cats. And for the Swans, their leading goal scorers, 2 each, Lewis, Minton Connell and Mark Bayes. Whew. Well, we're still getting over it. What a display by Gary Ablett. 14 goals. He's done it 3 times in his career. 2 big games in Melbourne. And Ron Barassi is still up in the coach's box, pondering the fact that he said to us before the game he'd concede that, well, I'll give Gary Ablett 7 goals, but I think 14 was just a few too many. 2 big games in Melbourne today. I've been warning you all day. If you don't wish to know the score, because the replay for some stations coming up after this, don't blow it now. Look away now for the full-time score. One of the highlights of this great game is the marking. And every week it's a pleasure to bring the Mitsubishi Marks of the Weeks. Here they are.
Time now to check the contenders for the Mitsubishi Mark of the Year. Each week, 10 lucky callers will receive a Black & Decker drill.
Madden this time plucks it out of the air. It's a short kick, but straight to Wilson. Pumps it back over the middle towards Penny and Christou. Christou, the height advantage. Penny, great skill.
A juggler behind Christou. The number to ring, because you get to vote. The 055 will show you at the end of the segment
Goes into the
numbers.
square.
Now,
Lovely
Gary
kick
Ablett
by
last
Penny.
week at the MCG.
He's played it.
055
Absolutely
60682.
unbelievable. Watch
Bring
this.
it now.
I don't agree.
Gary Pert didn't know where he was coming from. Barry Stanfield of Footscray, a one-hander. Alistair Lynch of the Brisbane Bears. He can get up, can't he? The $1 million man for Brisbane this year.
Game. Shane Watson, short.
Now, Kent Butcher, yesterday at the MCG, flipped into the air.
Gee, that would hurt. Wasn't that spectacular? Terrific mark.
Spectacular. Now, here are the phone numbers, because you get to vote for the Mark of the Week. The number's 055. Now, for Heady, it's 60681. For Ablett, 60682. For Stanfield, 83. For Lynch, 84. And for Kent Butcher, 60685. Some pretty handy marks. Gazza was doing it last week as well as this week.
Some very good ones, weren't there? Terrific.
You didn't ever kick 14 in the game, did you?
You're joking. I was lucky to get 14 kicks, let alone 14 goals. But it was a great effort by Ablett today, and the whole Geelong side, and as I mentioned through commentary, I've watched them now for about 4 consecutive weeks, and they are really on a roll. They're playing some really good, solid football. And we'll go to the third quarter, and here are a couple of highlights, and they belong basically with Sydney. Sydney showed they are a better team than they have been. They're playing a better type of football. There was a great smother there by Lawson to allow McRae to get away. Minton Connell fighting. That's one thing in his game. He's got to get a little bit more upper body strength. They could have overdone it, but the way that they bent that ball back, that was a terrific goal by Lewis.
Derek Kickett. Chapman.
And here he is, Wade Chapman, a good player. Played a couple of games, very impressive. He lays strong tackles. He's only 18, comes from the Geelong area. And Smith, I think he's got a little bit of something. He's got a little bit of fire. And I think when he gets used to the game, he could be something up forward because he's got a big, good body strength.
Yes.
Okay, they were the highlights in the third quarter, and some highlights also picked out by you for the last quarter. Any chance of a Gary highlight?
Well, I don't
Did you put any
I
in?
don't think he didn't figure that often, did he? They were really.
Mind you, he did get on the end of some midfield dominance by the Cats, didn't he?
Oh, they were terrific around midfield, and this is Minch.
Look at that kick from
He did well. He replaced Graham. Graham
Yes,
takes him
it
from
was
the
well
ground
done
for
by
making
the
a
big
couple of
fellow.
mistakes. I think that was in the
And he's
second
kicking
quarter,
from
and Minch did
35
particularly
metres
well.
directly in
Ablett, who finished the game with 14 goals, 5. The record previously was held by Doug Wade. That's against South Melbourne or Sydney.
Yes!
That's a Gary Ablett special, isn't it? Snapping the ball from the boundary throw-in. He's done it a heap of times in his career.
Good battle between those two, Rose and Barnes. Probably you toss a coin, maybe Rose, but Brewer, who was on the end of that, sending the ball down, it was very good around midfield, as was Riccardi, Wills early. Hocking also gets, that's Gary Hocking gets involved around midfield. Couch across half forward, also very good. They deliver the ball so well.
32 years of age and better than ever, Gary Ablett. Oh, it nearly misses. It's close. A goal.
He just squeezed that one in, Gary Ablett.
That's 13 for Gary Ablett.
And he did well in that last quarter, kicking 4 goals. He kicked 6 in the second quarter, a little quiet in the other 2. Only kicked the 1 goal in the first and 2 in the third quarter.
Goal! Now, I can't wait to hear your votes. Oh, yes, there they are.
Well, I've got to give apologies to one player, and that's Wills. I thought he was very good early, but Gary Ablett, naturally enough, for that 14 goals. I thought that was terrific of it. Riccardi and also Stephen Hocking. Stephen's very, very solid across half back, and over the past couple of weeks, he's been a real rock of Gibraltar down there. He's got a little bit of run to his game, which he never had before, and becoming quite attacking. But Wills just misses out.
Yeah. Yep, good votes. Now, Neil Cordy, he attempted to get the interview with Paul Couch earlier on. I believe he's having a second go inside the Geelong rooms, Cords.
That's right, Drew. It's the Paul Couch interview, Mark, too. Now, Paul, fantastic result today, but it was a little bit of in the second half was a little bit of a Gary Ablett show.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Gazza, you know, the boys looked for Gazza nearly on every time they went up the ground, and he just played fantastic. You know, marked everything that come up his way. Yeah,
did Malcolm Blight give him any instructions to the players to look for him in the last quarter?
It seemed like that. I shouldn't have been on the field myself, I don't think. On the half-forward line, I was pretty Ablett conscious there in the end, I suppose. Kicking 14 is a fantastic effort, and probably, you know, trying to get 15 or 16s, you know, trying to help him out as much as we can.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the most he's kicked in a game?
I think so. I'm not quite sure. I think he has kicked 12 or 13 in the MCG, but 14 seems to be pretty high. I'd say that'd be one of his best games.
Yeah, it'd certainly be right up there. Just on the team point of view, that's now 3 pretty good wins in a row. After a slow start, things are starting to turn around.
Yeah, we've been competitive the last 5 or 6 weeks. You know, after the Melbourne game, we played it, you know, some solid games, but we didn't win. But the last 3 games, you know, we've been competitive and we've played well, and you know, we want to have another good couple of weeks ahead of us now to get cemented in the 8 or up in the top 4. That's where we want to be.
Paul, can I butt in for a question? I've watched you now for a couple of weeks. You're playing that half-forward line very well. Where would you prefer play, midfield or cross half-forward?
Well, at the moment, I've played the last 3 weeks in the half-forward line, and Blighty wants me to stay there, and well, we've got a couple of new kids at centre half-forward, so I'm there to just encourage and help out, and you know, position players around the ground that are on the half-forward, flank forward pocket, and just keep everybody moving around the ground. There's plenty of talk out there, and that's my main job at the moment. Although it'd be nice to have a run on the ball every now and then, but never mind.
Yeah, just the defence seems to really be coming together now. Like Stephen O'Reilly, he's done the last 3 games. He's beaten Mitten Connell, Rocker, and Johnny Longmire.
Yeah, he's done a great job. All the boys down the defence, but they're like a team. The 6 that are down there, so they're always talking, supporting each other, and that's a big thing in footy this day and age. To support, you know, we need everybody going. The 21 players. We're probably not as good as other years gone by, so with the competition evening up, you know, 21, you know, we've got to have 21 goals on the day, and their backline's playing well.
Yeah, terrific. Well done, Paul.
OK, thanks to Paul Couch and Neil Cordy down in the rooms. And would you believe the Cats play Richmond next week? Gary Ablett's had a few birthdays on Richmond over the last few years. Gee, what mighty kick then. Hope you've enjoyed the telecast from Sydney. Many stations leaving us now. Good afternoon. Now, there's still a feast of football coming up. Those 2 big games in Melbourne, not a full replay, but a big replay in Melbourne. And in our studio in Melbourne, it's a good evening to Sandy Roberts. Sandy?
Yes, thank you, Drew. Safe home to you and the team, and you got your wish at last, a Gary Ablett show up there in Sydney. But as Drew said, 2 fabulous hours of football coming your way on 7 with some sensational action from both games. One from the MCG a little bit later on, absolutely wonderful, and also plenty happening too out at Princes Park. And it is Princes Park, firstly, we turn our attention to in a clash, a vital one for the Bombers. Essendon versus the Adelaide Crows. The Crows were forced to make one change. Anderson did not take his place in the lineup, so it opened the door for first gamer Peter Turner. An even first term, although honours really were with the Crows, because Essendon kicked with probably a 2 to 3 goal breeze. At quarter time, the Bombers 4-6-30, leading the Crows 4-4-28. So bearing in mind that win situation, 2 to 3 goal breeze for the Bombers in the first term. The Crows had it in the second. Let's go to the action now in the second quarter, some 12.5 minutes remaining, and the Bombers lead by just a point.
So on the other hand is David Calthorpe with 8 for Essendon. Ridley tries to strike the tackle, turns straight into trouble. Hurd is also under pressure. McGuinness close to the boundary line. And over.
Brown coming off for the Crows. Tongaree to come back on. Tongaree going down to that forward area, picked up by O'Donnell.
Wren in front, wins it down. Liptak bumped off it. Rashudo running out of space, got it to Bisker. Bit on behind play. We saw their boots. Ball comes back towards the wing. Jarman's in front. Harvey over the top. O'Donnell, favourable bounce. Hardwick has it. The defensive side of the wing only slightly. Back to O'Donnell. Smothered off the boot there by McDermott. Sliding in his Liptak. Ties it up well. And a bounce. This is tough, uncompromising football.
So
a lot at stake.
Sorry, Dan, it looks like Ridley might have done a shoulder. He's coming off holding his right arm. And Simon's another West Australia to come on to replace him.
The breeze has dropped a little. Bad luck for the Crows. As the boot comes from Grenvold across to midfield. Tregenza, still he goes. Well done. Kicks inside the 50. Harvey goes back. Timely defensive mark. Harvey, short one is on. Denham, who's been lively. His 10th possession. Mercury inside the centre square. High towards half forward. Tailor-made for Rashudo. Got a fist on it. Tregenza kicks it out wide. Wanganeen will win this ball. Picks it up right on the wing. Not a bad pick-up either. Now he centres it. Cockatoo Collins. In his base, Cockatoo Collins. Here comes Denham. Runs to the 50. On the lead, Simons in the pocket. Wanganeen's distribution hurting the Crows now. Simons, it'll take a good kick from here. As a result of all of that, this kick at goal for Essendon. Good effort. It's a beauty. 7 points the difference. Essendon lead.
Yes, and he can give them some life up forward there, Simons. He's such a quick player, not bad in the air either. He doesn't get a lot of touches of the football. There's a quality about him. Wanganeen again just continue that influence he showed in the latter part of that first quarter. And these setups are much better for Essendon rather than just bombing the ball long.
In the middle sees a free kick going the way of Essendon Somerville. Up towards the 50-metre line. Steve Alessio. Going to send the Bombers deep into attack once again. Well, he wanted Mercury, but it wasn't a good kick. Tries to slap it forward to accommodate Hurd, but runs out of room.
Adelaide's improved area there. 6-0 at the moment.
Wren plucks it out of the air, does well. McDermott, the Jarman, Hart, Rashudo. Into the centre, just too high for Wiedemann. Smart comes in to lend a hand to Wiedemann. There's away, but a free kick. It's going to go to Bomber Thompson. The Essendon skipper goes towards James Hurd, who was the flyer. Couldn't take the mark in the middle of the pack. One of the young Bomber guns looking to regain the confidence that it was such high levels last year. No doubt it will return. Wild ball, but no, play on. Cockatoo Collins. Oh, shot at goal. At last he says, I've got one. James Hurd.
It's clever.
Hurd gets his first, and now the Bombers kick a one.
Yeah, it's just sensed the player running at him. Cockatoo Collins featuring once more. He's been pretty good, 6 and 3. 6 and 4, I should say, 3 marks. Just here, just feeding off. And look at that, just sensed Jamison was coming at him, did James Hurd.
Play restarts. Essendon out now by 13 points. Rashudo away from the middle. Long penetrating kick down towards full forward. Fletcher backs himself against the ball, takes a tumble. Here's Modra, upended, close to the boundary line. Thompson is content to run it across. Modra looks at the umpire, quite rightly.
Yes, I thought there was a trip there.
Boundary throw in. Inside left half forward. Wren in front. Drifts back, almost clean possession. Grenvold to Alessio. Well done by Ross Wiedemann on his natural side. Sets it up towards full forward. Modra, well played by Fletcher. But the danger is still imminent. Modra, about 30 metres from goal, lays it off to McGuinness. McGuinness snaps back to the opposite pocket. Tongery is there, over the top. Alessio couldn't control it. The ball goes out of bounds. Well, a couple of half chances go begging for the Crows. Gary O'Donnell barks the instructions. Just over 8 minutes till half-time. McGuinness surrounded, dragged to ground. O'Donnell confronted by Liptak. And a baller. A good crowd at Princes Park this afternoon on what is a pretty cool day. Just a great day for footy. The most enjoyable game so far. Seesawing affair. Wren, clean possession, missed it. Alessio was pushed in the back.
Denham wanting to sneak away, but it'll come back. The Bombers by 13 points. Short but effective to Wanganeen, who's been so effective. Dustin Fletcher bounces away. Down the middle he goes. Modra's getting close, but not close enough. And he kicks to half-forward. The Essendon fans love it. Ball spills free. A chance now for the Crows to clear. Not yet, though. Mercury gives it away to Simons. Just come onto the ground, and he's kicked one, but he won't add to that.
Those handballs, Sandy, out of defence when they're just iffy. You think, I'll just try and handball along, particularly when you're coming down the middle of the ground around centre-half forward. Are very dangerous.
Hart to Jamison. Tucked in the back pocket. Can go short to Rashudo or longer to Turner.
Good kick.
And selects the second option. Now gives it off to Rashudo, who passes into the middle, and Jarman. Off to Tregenza. The Crows wanting a goal. Towards Smart. Dropped it. A little unusual. Wanganeen, what a quarter he's had. O'Donnell, an underground punt towards Alessio and Wren. Pittman runs into trouble. Loses the football. Alessio, but in the meantime, a whistle and a bounce.
Yeah,
it's really tightened up, Ross, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. Pittman just a bit slow there, Sandy, getting hands quickly onto the footy. He had Jarman as an option.
14 points the margin, just over 6 minutes remaining. Denham over the top to Mercury. Kick in towards the centre. Hurt again. Simons gives him the lead. Maybe a little shorter. Young is there to take the mark. Simons will drop back. Young kicking from 52 metres. Oh, great distance. Is it touched right on the line or through? It's through. Well, he backed himself, very young, and he's got his second. 9-7 plays 6-5.
It's a good shepherd too by Cockatoo Collins. Just watch this, Cockatoo Collins in the square, just easing back on Pittman. Well done.
Essendon out of the middle again. Grenville down towards half forward. Renshaw held a long time. This is Hurd. He's been good. That hand pass not particularly good. Rashudo missed it. Cockatoo Collins certainly collected one. Wellman collided with him.
Just wink at the umpire, I think.
So a bounce about 35 metres from goal. Wren goes up, comes back to him. Defence towards the outer side wing. A contract for Wiedemann, outnumbered 2-1. O'Donnell pushes towards the boundary line. Content with that. It's been a very good term as far as the Bombers are concerned. 9-7, 6-5. Alessio goes to the front. Wren reaching over the top. Tonga going nowhere. Wren again. Got it out to Wiedemann. Play goes on around the outer side. Jarman picks out McGuinness. McGuinness from right half forward pulls it back inside the 50. Big fist away by Harvey. Finds the safety of the boundary line. Disciplined defence. Essendon on top now.
4.5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Somerville comes off, Sandy, for Dale Kickett. Jamison coming off, and Rouvray on for the Crows.
Liptak. Kick partly smothered. Wanganeen again. Gets the hand pass away. He's had a fabulous quarter of football.
Jamison's man, Sandy.
Hurd. Short to Simons.
The change not being able to be made quickly enough, which left Hurd free with Jamison coming off. Rouvray coming on to pick up Hurd, but couldn't get there quickly enough. Hurd took advantage of that.
Michael Simons. With an extended run-up. Kicks from 46 metres. Popped through another one. Big quarter for the Bombers.
News update brought to you by McDonald's Family Restaurants.
Hello, Peter Mitchell looking ahead to 7 Nightly News. At 7, Premier Kennett jeered and jostled by hundreds of people at a protest rally against an Albert Park Grand Prix. Mr Kennett needed a police escort and left the rally without addressing the crowd. Also tonight, an innocent motorist killed after a police chase in Preston, and the day's major sport. Please join us at 7 o'clock.
Glenn Milne, Canberra's leading political reporter on 7 Nightly News.
Has this ever happened to you? Everybody say cheese. Look at that picture. You cut out half the party. Those days are gone. Hi, I'm Tim Shaw, and this little lifesaver is the Wide View panorama camera. It puts a new focus on big photos. The Wide View is designed to shoot twice as wide or twice as high as your ordinary camera, or with 35mm film. Forget the days of losing half your shot. The Wide View shoots an amazing 25 centimetres long. Gets everything in the picture. Look at this, before and with Wide View. Same photo, but what a difference. Getting the whole family in with an ordinary camera? No way. With Wide View, it's easy. It's lightweight, compact, and its super wide lens is focus free. It's so simple to use. Wide View is great for holiday photos. Bigger memories in a bigger size. Ordinary cameras limit you to part of the picture. Wide View is super for all the action. Don't spend heaps on fancy cameras or wide-angle lenses. Look, is this better than what's in your photo album right now? Plus, with every Wide View camera, we'll give you this great package offer of free 24 exposure film and a fantastic processing deal. As well, we'll give you 100 coupons for 100 free replacement films. Because it's from Demtel, of course there's more. Order the Wide View 35mm camera now, and we'll give you another Wide View camera absolutely free. Got the picture? You get 2 Wide View cameras plus 24 exposure film, 100 coupons for 100 free replacement films, and Demtel's famous money-back guarantee. All for just $49.95, but only if you ring now. Demtel's fabulous Wide View camera and film offer is great value. Demtel, you've done it again. Order yours now. Ring 008 023 025. That's 008 023 025. Ring now.
Alan Border, when he does it right. He announced his retirement exclusively on 7.
Basically telling you officially that I'm going to retire.
Why on 7?
I make my own decisions.
Alan Border, we salute you. It was a very important one in the match. The Bombers going into the breeze booted 6 goals too, and that really did set it up for them at half-time. 10-8 is 68. The Crows behind the 8 ball, 7-7-49. Considering that Essendon were going with the win in the third quarter. That was the important one. The Crows had to do something if they were to get back into the game. Let's go to the start of the third quarter now.
As we go into the second half, 68 plays 49. This is going to be a very important quarter. Wren looking for Jarman. Couldn't take it. Calthorpe was there. Brown also. Wanganeen seated on his rump, but he gets a kick. Down towards Hurd. Caught. The ball is locked in. And we'll have a bounce. Well, the breeze is still to the left of the screen. It is with Essendon for the quarter. They lead at the moment, so a big job for the Crows. McGuinness has kicked towards Wiedemann on all fours. Jarman. Now they've got a chance. Lip tag to Tregenza. Passing in towards half forward. Looking for Montra, but Fletcher was there. Brown gets the hand pass away. Mark Rashudo gives it across to Turner. 53 metres out. Turns round, goes into the pocket. Ross is there and he takes the mark. And a push, and a free kick to Mark Harvey.
Harvey in the back pocket. After that, kicks around the outer side. Somerville up in front, Cockatoo Collins at close quarters. Hardwick goes high and long down towards half forward. Jamison, the big fly, almost the spectacular leap, falling back. Calthorpe an opportunity just outside the 50. Gets by Jarman, plays it off. This is Mercury, measures the kick from 40. It's bending back, it's a goal. Great start for the Bombers. Mercury gets his first.
That's the one the Crows wanted. Had their chance when they went forward, but the kick from Tregenza just a bit high there, and the fly from Jamison couldn't hang on. I thought there might have been a free kick there, but not paid. So the advantage came to Essendon anyway, and they finished off very well. Very capable player is Mark Mercury.
Vital goal for the Bombers as Mercury punches forward again. Hart comes out to meet the football, still going. He charges forward, then tumbles a punt towards Nigel Smart. Couldn't take it. Pushed away from him. They need the next one at least, the Crows, and they're going to be in this. Buick comes over the top. Tregenza and Ola Renshaw. Now Brown. Liptak. Liptak wearing him like a glove. Brown round his body. Pushed as he took the kick. It's high inside 50, and it's a mark to Ross.
Ola Renshaw coming off, he's limping. Replaced by Ben Doolan, who started on the ground, but as soon as the matchup started, he came straight off.
Jonathan Ross. His first. He's kicking from just on 50. Distance will test him. Of course, it's into the slight breeze. Somerville mark. I think also thought about playing on, did he not, Roscoe?
He certainly did.
Now he goes back. Danger because Wren does it well.
Bit of class, isn't he?
He's an exciting big man. As Ola Renshaw still in a spot of bother on the bench. Over the top of Wiedemann. A tap forward to Brown. He's running out of room. Bump. The ball spills free.
And Sandy, what you said then, a bump, it should have been a tackle by Grenvold. You don't bump in those situations. You grab the player. Maybe a groin to Ola Renshaw, right thigh.
Yes, he was probably lucky that the ball did spill free. Otherwise, he could have ridden the bump and still had a shot. McGuinness may get a chance. No. In close quarters, Turner was in there. Ross also. Nigel Smart, you're caught.
Bit of pressure on.
Yeah. You want to drop $5 in there.
So often the sort of game you get at Princes Park too, isn't it?
One of these tighter games, tighter grounds.
Denham at the bottom. Now Ola Renshaw on the bench. Dipper, what's his problem?
Unfortunately, it's a strained groin as he tried to turn then, and just before the half-time